UFC Fight Night, Paris, oui. Imavov versus Borralho. I'm going to be going over every fight on the main card, including my predictions and my interesting comments on how each fighter will win. So here we go. We got Chihuahua, Patricio Chihuahua versus Losin Kaeda. I'm going to go with Kaeda. I think the UFC made a good matchup for him in favor of Kaeda. He's a young prospect. He has the physical advantage in this matchup. And also, he has some crazy KO power. He has some crazy knockout highlights. Go look it up at your own time. Really, no notable wins. Like, who who knows? But it's not like Patricio had like crazy big wins either. He had like AJ McKee and stuff, but like it's Bellator. They get fraud checked in the UFC, So Dan Ige was a good win, I will say, but Pitbull style at his age right now, he's a lot slower, really boring. I just see him getting caught by a big meaty hook by Kaida, you know. But both fighters that kind of start like the similar way. They're very slow, and you'll hear like the crowd, like the Bellator crowd, going like away, 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 jab, leg kick, and they're like oh. That's what Bellator fighters do, or Bellator fans do in Europe because they all suck and they're a bunch of losers. So any little thing they do, they have to make a big deal about it because they have nothing going for them. Bunch of geezers. Anyway, I got Kite on this one. I think he's gonna knock out Pitbull out cold, either in the second or third round. I think it's gonna be make a bold prediction. I think we might see a KO of the year candidate. I'm saying it right now. So when it happens, you already know. So made MMA called it. So Kite on this one. On to the French made matchup. We got Ferris Zing versus Cal Fernandez. I'm gonna make this one simple. I'm just gonna go with Zing. I think I've been going against him for like forever for some reason. Uh he's a good fighter, man. He's tall, lanky, sharp as joints, great knees, great elbows. Just a great fighter overall. I'm not gonna be going against him until he fights like a big name, potentially, or we'll see. Maybe I'll go for him. But I think in this matchup, he's got this in the bag. I could see a nice first round, second round KO in this matchup. Fernandez is not that bad. He had a pretty good win against Guram. I know Guram was a hype train for a little bit, and he helped derailing that. I don't remember if he was like the one that derailed it. I don't think he was the one that derailed it, but he added to it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ziam on this one. I think he has this in the bag. I think it's gonna be another nice, crazy KO. So I think we're gonna have a few candidates in this card. So there you go, Zam. Next on the card, I think we're gonna get a nice, quick beating by Bilkowskis on Paul Craig. Yeah, like come on, guys. Like this Paul Craig thing, it's going towards the end. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut after this or soon after this. He should be like he's just been taking KOs left and right, and he had the fight with Bo Nickel, an amazing performance. What a what a masterclass. Jesus. I'm just kidding, by the way. It was probably one of the worst fights I've ever seen. And I knew after that fight that Bo Nickel was way overhyped. Like, it was so clear. So when I saw Bo Nickel as a favorite against RDR, I was like, you guys are on crack, man. Like, seriously, dude? This dude was on the feet with Craig, couldn't do dog shit. He couldn't do shit. You think he's gonna put a beating on RDR? Give me a break, dude. You know? Paul Gray has some cool wins like Magomed Ankalaev. Technically he's like the lineal champ since he beat Magomed. Magomed's the champ now, so yeah. And he also had a nice submission against Jamal Hill. But those are just like fluky wins, Like he can maybe grab an arm, he in a leg lock, put in some sort of submission, but that's a big if. He kind of just lies there like your plain Jane date. The type that just lays there, it's just like, oh, like a Rick Ross moan. Nothing else. Just lays there, just looking at you, just like, "Mm, yeah, not the best." Yeah, Bukowski's a good fighter though, good overall fighter. He definitely hates Khalil Roundtree for doing that dirty ass oblique kick on him. Pretty messed up. 90 degrees, like opposite direction. Yeah, pretty bad. But I think he's gonna get an easy win on this one. I think it's gonna be a first round KO, and I think Paul Craig will be heading to the PFL. Now on to the feature fight of the card. We got Bolaji Oki versus Mason Jones. I'm gonna go with Mason Jones in this one. He's a pretty good prospect, I guess you could say. He had a really good fight with Jeremy Stevens. He got hit in that fight too, but Stevens is a dog. He's always gonna bring it. But I think he put up a good performance. Um, I think he's got himself a good streak going on for him. I think he could be a little threat to his division for sure. Uh, yeah, okie dokie over here. Um, I don't really see much out of him. I don't know. There's not really much with Belgian fighters in the UFC. I didn't even put anyone in notable wins because like you're not gonna know who they are. Unless you just sit at home and eat cheese all day and watch random fights, but not even then, I don't think. But yeah, Mason Jones, just please just beat him to prove my point. 'Cause, these predictions are kind of like lackluster, a little lame, but there's not much material on these people, so just keep going. Oki's never been knocked out, but I have a feeling, I don't know why, but I have a feeling Mason Jones is going to give him his first KO loss. I think it's going to be via TKO. I can see a third round late TKO for Mason Jones. He's going to maraud him with a bunch of knees to the body against the cage and just keep hammering, hammering, hammering. And Oki's going to have his guard up and he's going to be like not defending himself too well. And I think the ref's going to stop the fight. So I'm gonna go with Mason Jones, third round TKO. On to the co-main event of this wee card. It's gonna be a rough one for BSD. I got Ruffy on this one. I think Ruffy's gonna KO BSD. I was listening to Lucas Tracy earlier, and Lucas has BSD winning. Listen, Lucas, I like your stuff. You have good content, but dude, you have some of the worst takes, man. I do not see BSD beating Ruffy. BSD hasn't shown me anything or any reason why he would beat Ruffy. He has a marauder style, he lacks fight IQ, lacks defense, comes straight at you. And if you don't hit him great, he might grab you, he might take you down. He did that with Dustin Poirier in the beginning. But guess what? Dustin Poirier defended a few takedowns, and then he caught him. He caught him coming in. That's what happens when you lack fight IQ and lack defense, especially against a guy like Dustin Poirier, where that's his fight in the fire, in the pocket. That's what he does. That's how he makes a living. And with Ruffy, he has such a high skill set, great technique, great strikes, very sneaky. And if you're lacking some defense, he's gonna find a hole and he's gonna put you to sleep, man. Just like with Bobby Green. Bobby Green did not see that spinning back kick. Caught him, knocked him out cold, and I can see the same thing happening to you. Not a spinning back kick, but a knee up the middle, a 1-2, nice hook, spinning back elbow. Because your type of fight style allows for those things to happen. So I don't see BSD winning this at all. I just don't see it happening. I see another KO of the year candidate here. And I like BSD. Like he's a Chad military guy. Um, being French doesn't really help, but I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, Frenchies. Just kidding. You guys are cool. Yeah, it's just a fight IQ, man, and the lack of defense. It's worse than OnlyFans model geography knowledge. You ask them where Canada is, and they'll point like Africa. I don't know if you've seen like the reels or whatever of people interviewing like basic questions, but you see a lot of that. unfortunately, with our youth. But that's a different conversation. We're screwed, and the next generation is filled with a bunch of morons. But well, we're here, and let's just enjoy what we have. You know, let's just enjoy the rest of sanity that we have. But anyway, I'm gonna go with Ruffy. I'm gonna say first round KO. Why not? I think he's gonna catch him with something sneaky. BST's not gonna see it. If he doesn't make an adjustment, he's definitely going to sleep. So I'm gonna go with Ruffy, first round KO. Now on to the main event of the Wee Wee card. We got the most important no aura main event. This main event lacks so much aura that the winner of this might not even face Shemaev. This fight is a title contention fight. You know, the winner of this will fight the champion. But since there's no aura in this, you can't really sell neither of these guys. If it's a lackluster fight, if it's a regular fight, if it's just decent, even if it's just a good fight, like just good, they might skip the winner of this and they might go with RDR Fluffy. These guys are just not marketable. You know, Imavov is marketable to the French crowd, the French market, because he's French or raised in France. Um, but if Imavov doesn't come out here and just puts this guy to sleep, or has like a remarkable performance, they're gonna skip him. And that pretty much foreshadows who I got winning in this fight. I have Imavov being Cow. Um, Imavov is a really good fighter. I really underestimated him after he lost Strickland, but that loss aged very well. And he's looked pretty good ever since. Um, he knocked out Israel Adesanya, super impressive. Anyone that knocks out Izzy or beats Izzy in general, super impressive win. Had a good fight with Jerry Cannonier. Early stoppage, but it looks like he was pulling away. But Cal's not a bad fighter. He's getting better, but I just haven't seen enough from Cal to prove to me that he's actually ready to be at this stage. I don't think he's ready for it. I think he's got a few more fights in him before he gets to there. I just think the state of the middleweight division kind of just rushed it for him very conveniently. But I don't see him being Imavov. Um, Cal was tough though. He had a tough fight with Jared Cannonier, but it was a little too back and forth for me. Cannonier, nothing against Cannonier, but like he's a tough fight. But you know, if you're at title contention level, I feel like a Cannonier fight should be you shouldn't struggle as much, you know. But yeah, and plus Kyle, all the fighting nerds are good. I just see him as the worst one. I'm not saying that he's a bad fighter, but I think he's the worst one out of the fighting nerds. I got Gene Silva as number one. I think he's the best one. I think he's gonna be champ. I hope it's just not against Volk. You know, against anyone but Volk, please. I don't want to see Volk getting knocked out. I think that's a guaranteed knockout. Number two, I got Ruffy. I think Ruffy's gonna be a future champ, or he's gonna be right there. And number three, I got Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates that crazy power, man. Just automatically gives him that third spot. And I just think he's the fourth. He's the worst out of the fighting nerds group. Once again, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but just kind of like, dude, how'd you get here? Like the middleweight division is a little soft right now. But yeah, I don't know. He might prove me wrong. He might outskill Imavov. Could knock him out. Could prove me wrong. But I just see Imavov using his distance. I mean, they're on the same height, but I think he's really good at using his distance. Very good technique. Very good all around. I just see Imavov kind of piecing him up with one twos, body kick, kind of like outworking him. And I could see Cal slowly breaking down, and I could see like a late fourth round TKO or even a KO. Yeah, Imavov's legit, but if he's gonna get this title shot, he has to make a statement. So that'll be interesting. So he might just come out and try to get it done early to make a statement, but we'll see though. You still got to try to get the win, you know? And Kyle, you don't want to make a mistake against him either because he's not a bad fighter. He'll catch you, you know? He's got skill. But I'm going to go with Imavov with this one. And yeah, I think every single fight in this card is going to be end via KO. Kind of crazy, kind of wild, but you know, it'll be pretty cool if it happens. Predict an entire card, all KOs. So if you're putting money on this, you know, and this works out, thank me later.